Okay, let's look at 4.4, the atmosphere. So the atmosphere is a bunch of gases that make up our atmosphere. You need to know these percentages. So about 78% of the air you breathe in is nitrogen. What you really need is oxygen, which is only about 21% on average. And then there is, my head's in the way, but there is a little bit, which is like 3% carbon dioxide, and then some other stuff, which is like this 96%. So it's really important that you know how much everything is made up of. And I want to correct my number. It's 0.04. Sorry. I thought I could remember behind my little picture down there. 0.04%. Not 4%, 0.04%. So remember, most of our atmosphere is stuff we can't even use, nitrogen. But nitrogen is part of the biogeochemical cycles, and it is necessary for plants to grow, so we do need it, but it has to get fixed. This N2 form isn't usable, so we need lightning or bacteria to fix it to get into the soil to help cycle that matter. Okay, so there are several layers of the atmosphere, and they are layered due to densities and temperatures. So we have density, which gases are where, and the temperatures create different layers. So here's like the famous picture of it. So notice this scale down here is colder to the right, which may not be intuitive to you. And then the altitude increases as we go up this graph. So as you climb to the top of the mountain, it gets colder in temperature. But then as you leave the next layer, it gets warmer, and then it gets colder, and then it gets warmer. So there's this weird layering going on as you exit the Earth's atmosphere into space. So we came up with this fun little saying to help us remember. Try spaghetti and meatballs. They're excellent to help you remember what layer's what. So the very bottom, troposphere, try the spaghetti, is where we live. It's where all the gases are, the oxygen, the water, the life, the weather. 75% of all Earth's atmosphere is in this layer. In this layer, as you go higher, temperature gets colder. So remember that. The next level, the spaghetti, the stratosphere, is where the famous ozone layer is. And this is the good ozone. Bad ozone's on the ground in the troposphere. Good ozone is up here in the stratosphere. And its job is it protects us from UV ultraviolet radiation. And as you probably already know, that's the one that can cause some skin cancer, cataracts, which help affect our eyesight, can damage plant tissue, DNA, genetic mutations. So there's a lot of things that this ozone layer does to protect us from the UV radiation damage. In the stratosphere, as temperature goes up, as altitude goes up, temperature also goes up. So that's different than the troposphere. The next layer is the middle sphere. Meso is middle. The meatballs, try spaghetti and meatballs. The temperature in this one goes down. So as altitude goes up, temperature goes down. And the only kind of cool thing to make noteworthy in this layer is because of this temperature difference, hot meteors come in and they burn up in that cold layer, so they break them up into smaller parts. So it's kind of a safety net and protects us from big giant meteors hitting us. The next one is the fun one, the aurora borealis, the thermosphere. As you can think, thermo is like a temperature, heat. So as the temperature goes up, or sorry, I keep doing that. As the altitude goes up, the temperature also goes up. This interaction creates this interplay of ions between the Earth's gases and the sun's ionic wind that is sent away from the sun in those solar flares. And this is what we get, these beautiful aurora borealis, which is an ionic interaction with the solar winds. So yay. And then the last one is just exiting. We're going out into space, the cold vacuum of space. So those are the layers. This is the little famous chart you need to be aware of. So you should know a few facts per layer and the temperature versus altitude situation for each layer. So make sure you're very aware of that, and you should be good to go for atmosphere. And we'll do wind next on a different video.